So today we are going to get into the reasons that it's so important to run a Facebook campaign, especially when we're talking about small and medium-sized businesses. That is not just focused on one customer and one part of their customer journey, and why we need to have specific messaging, specific offers at specific parts of the funnel. So at IMA, we use a top, middle, and bottom funnel strategy on Facebook. Not uncommon, but it's shocking how few people actually do this correctly or do it at all. Actually, I'm still surprised how few companies are running Facebook ads, especially on the small and medium size. So yeah, so let's get into this. So, let's take a few minutes and just go through what those different parts of what those different campaigns look like and why they are what they are, what each of them does. So what part of the machine is a top, a middle, and a bottom of funnel campaign as far as the overall campaign. So let's start at the top. Yeah. So top of funnel campaigns on Facebook. What's the point? Why are we doing that?
It's an awareness campaign. Hello, we exist. We have a value proposition. That's really what it is. Like, we exist. We are here to solve your pain. But before we get into those details, let's just tell you what separates us from the competition. And that's really a place to talk about value proposition. You don't want to talk about offers. You don't want to be selling. And the key is you're trying to find your customer through this stage of the funnel, right? So top of funnel is a broad audience. So if you're let's say you're a local company and you're in a local service area, then you want that to be as broad as possible. You don't want to chop off your reach, i.e. the people that you can reach by saying, I only want 35 to 45-year-old males, unless you really know exactly who your client is, like you're selling like beard trimming supplies or something like that. Okay, maybe then you'd go for males only.
Exclude the ladies.
But then what if women are buying? What if women are buying like beard for their whatever brother, husband, father, whatever? So, anyways, the idea is to go as broad as possible in your target area, and if it's a big area, then you're going to have to be bigger. And you're trying to get to people to take some type of event, some type of action, a scroll, a share, a through play in a video for 10 seconds or 10%, a comment, a click, whatever you're trying to do, any type of event, which is called a link click on Facebook. Once that person does that, then we can push them down to other stages of the funnel. But that first step is the first introduction to the brand. Either the person's heard of the brand or they haven't heard of the brand. If they haven't heard of the brand and they're interested, so the important thing is that we're not selling here, we're just introducing.
And we can trust at least as of today, right? This could change tomorrow. We can trust the algorithm at this point to go broad and allow it to do its work based on where we're at post iOS 14.5 and all that good stuff. Like when you go broad, like that used to be a terrible thing years ago, but now we can trust the algorithm to do what we want.
Yeah, and the key thing is on Facebook is what are you optimizing for? Typically running lead gen campaigns on Facebook, we're optimizing at the top of funnel for link clicks, which doesn't necessarily mean a click. It's really what it is, events. Mm-hmm. So like even someone watching a video is considered a link click. Yeah, we want basically what you're asking the algorithm to do is to get any type of engagement.
Yeah.
That's the conversion. It's really a mini conversion or a micro conversion, but it's a very important conversion for this part of the funnel.
Cool. Okay, and then when we talk about middle, and also sometimes we skip middle of funnel campaigns.
Depends on the client budget and on the content available.
Yep. But if we're doing as we want, perfect world, perfect client, perfect budget.
Yeah.
So middle of funnel campaigns. So we're starting to identify and build custom audiences, and then so that middle of funnel. What's it doing as part of this process?
So the middle funnel is where we start to nurture the prospect. So now they've basically, by engaging with the content, they've raised their hand that they're a potential prospect for our services or products. So now we want to nurture them. We want to give them some content in exchange for their engagement. So usually educational based content. Now we've talked about the value proposition. Maybe we go deeper into the value proposition. Maybe we know the service or product we're trying to sell. So we try to warm them up for that sale by understanding the pain that someone would have to buy that product or service, understanding what pain that they're having in their lives without having that solved, and then craft middle of funnel content to solve that problem and to give someone away. So lead magnets, quizzes, there's all kinds of different variety of things that you could do on the middle of funnel. We tend to do a lot of lead magnets for lead gen companies, like how to make your home energy efficient, solving the pain of having high energy costs. Or so there's lots of different things, but basically you're trying to educate and give people more content to push them farther down the funnel, like the funnel at the top and then in the middle here. Now we're educating, we're allowing the people that are considering our services or products to get more information about what to do. So and the audience are different, right? So the audience is people who've engaged with those ads at the top of funnel. Mm-hmm. Plus, we can take lookalikes on customer lists. So if a customer has MailChimp or some kind of email service provider, we can upload the emails into Facebook, do a customer match. So the email addresses match or the names or the multiple items match. You can then do a customer match. If you have 10,000 or 20,000 names, that's going to be a decent list. Create a lookalike, 5% lookalike, 3% lookalike. And then you can do that retargeting. So website visitors, people who have been to the site already. And depending on how sophisticated you want to get, right, you can say certain types of events on the website, as opposed to if someone's checked out on the cart, you could exclude converters. So if someone's already bought something from them, then maybe you don't want to give them middle of funnel content, so they're already known. Some type of event on the website visitor, how many days has it been? 60 days, 30 days, you want to take these factors into consideration, right? So you're feeding then that middle of funnel content, engagers from your top of funnel ad, customer match, and retargeting and lookalikes.
Yep. And we can talk about, maybe in a separate video, we'll talk about how do you train that pixel, like you mentioned, right? So certain things we wanted to see so that the audiences are more viable. Okay, so top of funnel, right? We're making people aware that this company or brand exists, the product and service they provide exists, offering value prop there as well, trying to stand out, differentiate, get people's attention. Middle of funnel now, we're saying, okay, this brand exists, and now we're building trust and authority. We're educating, we're teaching, not selling. We're getting them further in. We're maybe collecting their email addresses as a trade for that content, lead magnet, whatever that might be. Final part of that funnel then at this point, because we're not talking about retention, which is a whole different piece, right? So bottom of funnel then, it's pretty self-explanatory. What are we doing at bottom of funnel?
Bottom of funnel is your most hyper-targeted audience. So now the people have raised their hands at least twice. So they've dealt with your top of funnel content, they engage with it. Those people get pushed in the middle of funnel. The people that engage with your middle of funnel content, then they get pushed to bottom of funnel content. So the perfect case scenario, if you're doing a lead magnet, is a person sees an ad on Facebook, middle of funnel content ad, you know, how to make your home energy efficient. They say, hey, there's a lead magnet here. Okay, I'm going to click on the ad. They click on the ad. There's a squeeze page. They enter their email address. They submit their email address. The guide gets emailed to them immediately. Now they have the guide. Now that conversion action is tracked to the bottom of funnel content. So now we know that they're very interested. Right. So now they've actually downloaded our lead magnet content. A lead magnet is exactly what it sounds. It's to magnetize leads. So then at that point, we're going to send that person on Facebook, bottom of funnel ads. Now, bottom of funnel ads are about making the sale, about booking an appointment, claiming an offer, whatever. So that's where you want to incentivize limited time offer, promotions, promo codes, discounts, 35% off, 10% off, limited time only, this kind of stuff. You're trying to motivate and this person to buy at that point. You've already given them awareness of their value prop. You've driven them down further into the consideration phase so they understand why this is valuable and why it solves your pain. And then at the end of the deal, you basically sell that. By the way, if they do download your lead magnet, they've given you your email their address. The reason why we want the email address is so that we can automate email nurture sequence. So that person, once they've downloaded it, we have their email, we'll send them 3 to 10 to however many emails, continue to educate them on our services and products, educate, right? And then at the end of that sequence, you offer a promo or something like that. And then after that sequence ends, 3 to 5 to 10 emails, you would then port them into your prospect email list and your ESP.
Yep.
So now that person, by downloading that lead magnet, unless they opt out of your email content, they're going to be getting email ideally from you forever.
Yeah, and that's also where the impossible offer comes in. What we call the impossible offer. You stack that value in the bottom of funnel, right? Remove as much friction as you can. So that bottom of funnel ad is really doing the heavy lifting of generating leads or revenue.
Exactly. And then if that prospect ever becomes a customer, then they go from your prospect email list to your customer email list. Depending on how you have your segmentation done in your email list, if you have a slew of products and services and you maybe have different content for different types of products and services, then that person gets segmented into like they were an HVAC customer, or they were a plumbing customer, or they were, right, like these different types of things.
And then they can go back into a lookalike list because they re-uploaded, and the snake continues to eat itself.
The lookalike, it gets better. It gets smarter. The more people in the customer list, the more matches you have, the better the lookalikes get.
Yeah. So all this is great if it works. And when we see this type of strategy put in place for clients, especially clients who've said in the past, like, oh, I've tried Facebook ads, it doesn't work. Well, it's because you took bottom of funnel ads and threw them up on Facebook with terrible targeting, probably a terrible offer, and yeah, it didn't work. So you have to nurture, you have to build intent on Facebook using a strategy like this with the top, middle, and bottom funnel, and then it works.
Yeah, it does work. You have to make people care. If people don't care, then what's the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't want to spend money on a bottom of funnel ad where you're sending it out to this huge broad audience, and they don't own a house. Like you're trying to sell carpet cleaning, they don't own a house. Right. They're not going to buy carpet cleaning. They're going to wait for their landlord to clean the carpets, which is never going to happen. They're just going to vacuum it, or they're going to go down to the grocery store, get one of those like things. So you want to make sure that this helps targeting. This helps the ROI on your campaign be more efficient, right?
Yep.
This helps the dollars that you're spending be more efficient.
Yeah, right on. All right, so next time maybe we'll talk about training that pixel. But for now, go out and build your funnels, full funnels.
And if anybody has any questions, just put them in the comments.
Exactly, absolutely.
We'll respond. All right, any topics that you want to hear about, let us know.
That'd be cool too.
Yep.